Have you ever wondered what living your true, authentic life would be like? And doing so fearlessly, undeniably, and unapologetically? Is such a way of life even possible? My answer is yes, it is. Welcome to my podcast, From Fearful to Fierce. My name is Sarah Udoh-Grossfurthner, and I will be using this space to share simple, easy to implement tips on how to become the best version of yourself by living authentically, unapologetically, undeniably, and fearlessly. From Fearful to Fierce is based on my FFTF trilogy, which is available on Amazon, by the way. A series on the importance of knowing, accepting, and loving one's self. So, whether you are struggling with imposter syndrome, self doubt, or just looking to level up your confidence game, this podcast has got you covered. So, get ready to take on the world one fearless step at a time as this podcast unravels and tackles some of the issues that prevents us from becoming the best version of ourselves. Once again, I'm your host, Sarah Udoh-Grossfurthner. Every now and then, I get the opportunity to mediate either between two friends or between a parent and a child. And so recently in my family, I had this opportunity to be the voice between a father and a daughter. Turned out that this girl had been struggling for a while. And of course, as a parent, the father was looking for ways to kind of get through to the daughter, but somehow he just could not. And so that was where I came in. And he asked if I could step in. After a long discussion with the daughter, I came back to him. In the discussion, I kind of like gave him a brief overview of what we had spoken about. I didn't want to tell him everything that the daughter had confided in me because obviously it was a confidence. And if you really want people to be able to trust enough to share, you have to respect their confidence. So I kind of like just gave him a brief, like 20% of what we spoke about because it was necessary. And in the process, said to him that she felt alone. And he himself has said to me that she used to feel a little left out. And when I told him that that she often felt alone, and at that point, he said, I don't really understand why she feels like this because she's involved in so many things. She, as young as she is, she's invited to take part in lots of discussions, podium discussions. She's invited to share even in international organizations have things going. She's often invited to share. She was still a student in the university, but she has succeeded in getting herself noticed because of her intelligence. She had also succeeded in getting herself noticed because of her willingness to be there for other people. So basically, what he said was she has so much going and he didn't understand why she felt left out. After listening to him go on about all the amazing things his daughter was doing for people, I then said to him, it appears this girl is doing so much for people. It appears she is the voice for so many people. I then asked him, who is our own voice? Who is the voice? Who is the voice speaking for this girl who is speaking for so many people? So many peers were depending on her. So many people had come to trust her enough to share. Who is our own voice? Who can she trust enough to go to when our own voice is dimmed or when our own voice is tired to become the voice that speaks for her. And so that's the topic for today. I'm an African, as most of you know, from Nigeria. And so I come from a society where when you've proven to your immediate family or even people around you that you are willing to share in their sorrows or to have, or just to listen to them, when you give people that kind of impression, oftentimes a lot of people will offload on you, especially if you're someone who keeps confidence. That is, you are not a blabbermouth, that when people tell you something today, tomorrow it will become public knowledge. If you are privileged to be that kind of person, of course, everyone wants to share with you. But the problem with that is that sometimes we fail to realize that someone like that also needs a voice that can speak for them. And so, who is your voice when you need to also express what you're going through? I used to tell a friend of mine when we have a discussion on this same topic that sharing, it's like having a pail or bucket or pot of water that you're drawing from. And so every day you go to take that water, but you're not asking who is filling up that pail. You always assume that every time you go to that pail, water will always be available for you. There's only so much you can take from a place before whatever you're taking runs out. And so, in the case of this child, so much was being taken from her. People were going to her with their troubles. People were going to her to share their confidences. People were going to her just because she was willing to have a listening ear. So no one was bothering to ask if she also needed. And even the father, in a sense, he himself failed to a certain extent because oftentimes when we have a child like that, we are so proud that we have a child who has a compassionate heart and that to whom people are willing will willingly go to. That in their pride, we are not asking. This child of mine she's giving so much daily. Is someone also giving? Unfortunately, that's the question most parents who have children like this don't ask. I just thought I should share that with you all out there. And so, if you happen to have someone in your circle, whether in your family circle or friendship circle, who is always willing to listen, who is always there to help, please make an effort to also reach out to that person every now and again. Sometimes people like that don't even need anything from anyone, but just having someone ask sincerely, sometimes that's all the thanking that they need. Like I said, if there's a pail of water and someone is always drawing from that pail, somehow one day that pail is going to empty. It's going to be empty. So we need to also fill that pail every now and then or check in to make sure there's actually still water in that pail for when we need it. Because it might be that one day when you really do need that water, you might go there, be very, very presumptuous that you're going to get the water as you always do, only to get there and then realize that the pail is empty. So please, if you have someone out there who is always there willing to listen to your troubles, to share in your troubles, please make an effort to check in on them to make sure that they themselves are also okay. Make an effort to be the voice that speaks for them every now and then. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, this is From Fearful to Fierce by Sarah Udoh-Grossfurthner. Until next time, keep striving to become the best version of yourself. Live intentionally, be unapologetic, be bold, be fearless. Before I forget, don't forget to subscribe to my podcast, like the different episodes, and press the notification button so that when I bring out new episodes, you'll be notified. Thank you very much. Until next time.